to the Dawgs podcast with your hosts, Blake Reneker, Justin Charles, and Josh All.
Hey, what's up, Browns fans? Welcome back to another episode of the Dawgs podcast presented by Manly Bands. Josh All, Justin Charles, coming to you tonight with another episode here. Not the most fun conversation that we're going to have, but it seems like we have this conversation at least once every, summer, right?
Maybe twice.
Or maybe twice, depending on who's on the team and all that kind of stuff. So we're going to be talking about the latest player to be arrested for the Browns. We're going to dive into this in-motion football evaluation graphic thing that's been going around the last week or so. We were going to talk about that last week, didn't have time, so we'll hit it tonight. And then we got a few listener mailbag questions from you guys that we'll answer as well. So Blake was not able to make it tonight, had a last-minute thing come up on his real estate side of things, his other side hustle, and he's going to be sending in a video with his thoughts on Quinshon Judkins and everything. So we will play that here in a little bit, as long as he sends it in. If there's like a gap and then there's nothing that plays from Blake and you don't hear his voice, it means he didn't send it. But but we're planning on it. So
sounds good.
We'll get that too here in a second. But before I dive into all this fun stuff that we really don't want to be talking about anyway, remind you, if you're on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the channel, tap the notification bell, give us a 5-star review on all the audio platforms. If you're listening to the podcast, we appreciate our audio listeners as well. And make sure you head over to jointhedawgs.com. Right now, join up for our fantasy football leagues. We will be coordinating the leagues, divvying everybody up here in the next, 2 weeks or so. And then we'll be bringing in anybody else who wants to sign up throughout August. But the deadline is coming to sign up for fantasy football redraft. Drafts will be at the end of August, right before the season kicks off. So make sure you guys get in there. Winners of each league get a championship t-shirt with your roster on the back, and all, basically just the bragging rights alone is what people want, because Justin's a former champion. I'm a former champion. Blake's former champion. I don't think we got Kenny to win anything yet, have we?
No, but it's another year, 2025. This is the year.
Yeah. So make sure you guys come in here and don't let Kenny win. Keep him defeated and everything. So jointhedawgs.com if you want to play fantasy football, or just, get in there in the Discord, talk to everybody 24/7, all that fun stuff. All right. Let's talk about Quinshon Judkins, the Browns' second-round pick, the second of our second-round picks. We took Carson Schweschinger at 33, and then a couple picks later at 36 to Quinshon Judkins in a pick that we got in that trade with the Jaguars when we moved back from 2 to 5. They took Travis Hunter. We took Mason Graham, Quinshon, Dylan Sampson, and then we got a first-round pick next year. So Quinshon was part of that equation. Very excited. We were pumped to have him. Former Buckeye, was awesome in college. Looked like he was going to be the lead dude for the Browns, and came out on Saturday. He was arrested, taken to jail in Fort Lauderdale. Spent the night in jail down there, had his bond hearing. Correct me on any of this stuff, Justin, if I got some of the details wrong. My weekend was just crazy. So I was constantly, didn't know what day of the week it was. It was just wild. But I'm pretty sure the bond hearing Sunday morning, bail was set at $2,500. It was paid. He was released. And as far as I've read, he does plan to be in Berea when rookies report for minicamp this Friday. This week, the rookies come to training camp Friday, and Quinshon Judkins is the only rookie in the 2025 class for the Browns who does not have a contract yet. Because remember, he was holding out for a fully guaranteed deal, just like Carson Schweschinger got, Jaden Higgins down in Houston got. They're the only 2 second-round picks in the entire draft for the entire league that have signed so far, and Quinshon was obviously one of the ones who hadn't, holding out for that fully guaranteed contract, and I can guarantee he's not getting fully guaranteed now.
It's fair. Absolutely fair. I mean, just to start it off, it sucks. It's just not the kind of news that you want to, see coming out of Berea. It sucks. Once again, we kind of are talking about it. I mean, as far as just on the outlook of things, like you kind of brought up, this guy was almost going to be like the next dude as far as Cleveland running backs, as far as the fan base felt. We drafted this guy. He was going to replace an absolute legend in Nick Chubb. which is just another like thing with this where it's like, this is completely just typical Cleveland luck right here. Like, this is exactly how it plays out usually. But, I mean, it sucks. It's not good. It's not a good look. You know, there's not really a lot to say about it. As far as like for him, it's a huge deal. I mean, like you said, he just pretty much, he's not getting guaranteed money. His contract's definitely going to look a lot different than other guys probably now. I mean, you'd have to. The guaranteed money is so that if you do get suspended, you still get that money. Surprise, he's going to get suspended. You're not going to guarantee that money. As far as like, you know, like what he's looking at, a lot can happen. You know what I mean? And I'm one of those ones that like, I'd like to get all the info first. I'd like to see it all come out and see how everything plays out. Police report came out. It's pretty bad. It does, you know, it's not good. It's, you know, there's violence against a woman. Sucks. It's a bad look. It's not good.
Yeah. So I did not mention it, and that's my fault, but charged with, and again, neither me or Justin are legal experts by any stretch. So, I mean, if we're getting some of the terminology wrong or whatever, feel free to correct us in the comments, but just understand like that's just not our forte. But he was charged with misdemeanor domestic violence. It was battery / touch or strike. This is in Florida. Whatever. Like Justin said, the police report did come out today from the arresting officer, you know, because over the last few days, it was like, yeah, this is bad, looks bad, sounds bad, but kind of like we did with Mike Hall last year. And we'll talk about him again here in a second, of course, but just let some of the more facts come out so we can get the full picture, better understanding of what transpired. And then, you know, when this report was shared around today, yeah, does not sound good at all.
Yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. I'll let you read the report and stuff in a little bit. I couldn't remember exactly, because we went down the Deshaun Watson suspension thing and we really dove into like the lingo and all that on the conduct policy. So I went back and looked at it, just, refresh and just see what potentially, you know, because once they redid that, it really took a focus on domestic violence, any kind of, you know, like that was what they aimed it at. What I got off of it, let me pull it up real quick. Never mind. I don't even have it pulled up. Hold on, Josh.
Yeah, go ahead. Pull it up.
We might need an edit there.
Well, it's okay. Actually, let me just roll with my next note while you pull that up. So as far like from what I was reading, they were calling this a delayed battery because this was reported. The alleged domestic violence took place last Monday, July 7th. The victim did not report it until this past Saturday, July 12th. So that was 5 days later when it was reported. And like you said, I'll go through the police report. I'll read it. And it does explain why there was a delay there. And we can kind of discuss, you know, some speculation on that as well.
Yep. But as far as like the actual policy, it said that provided that any violation, including assault, battery, domestic violence, dating violence, child abuse, or any other forms of family violence or sexual assault, including physical force, or committed against someone incapable of giving consent, it's an automatic 6-game suspension, automatically right off the top. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, he's gone 6 games.
Yep.
He's not going to be here 6 games next year.
No, you're absolutely right. Yeah, he's missing the first 6 games of his rookie season at minimum. At minimum. Right? That's where it starts. So if there's more to this, or they determine it's a bigger, smudge against the shield for the NFL, I mean, it could be 7, it could be 8. I mean, it's at least 6.
I think that's a huge thing you touched on too, is this is one of those things with the NFL. They don't like to see the shield, they don't like to see it, get disrespected, anything. So anytime there's an example to be made out of, it happens. Unfortunately, it's going to be somebody that's on the Cleveland Browns roster.
Again,
and could be deserving,
Oh, it is. I mean,
absolutely.
The thing is, okay, so let me go through the report. We can talk about, what was said and everything. So just bear with me, guys. This might be a little lengthy, but it's a few paragraphs. So on July 12th, and this is the reporting officer on the guy who arrested him. So I responded to the Fort Lauderdale headquarters. I made contact with the victim who wished to report an incident of domestic violence with her boyfriend. So right there, because later on it says they're not in a relationship, they're rekindling things, but she referred to him as her boyfriend. Okay,
right.
So for all intents and purposes, let's just say it's his girlfriend, the one that he punched. So the victim provided a voluntary recorded tape statement. The victim stated she arrived at Fort Lauderdale International Airport on a flight with the defendant, who obviously I'm not going to say defendant, it's Quinshon, so we're clear. On Monday, July 7th, late in the evening, the victim stated after departing the plane, she used the restroom. She emerged from the restroom and then proceeded to baggage claim with Quinshon. The victim stated at baggage claim that Judkins said, "Oh, wow, I can't believe you, and I'm so done with you." Victim stated she had no clue as to why the defendant stated this. The victim then entered a Lamborghini SUV rental vehicle that was already waiting for them at the airport. The victim advised they exited the airport in the vehicle, so they left in the rental car. Then she said that Quinshon was showing frustration after he read text messages from family members. She then said she was trying to explain to him that the messages that he was reading were not true. She says she suffers from anxiety, and as she was trying to explain herself, she started stuttering, and that's when Quinshon punched her in the mouth. So punched her in the mouth, chin area with a closed fist. She still had visible bruising on her chin. So this is the officer reporting this. So obviously he could see, she's still bruised up here. Victim showed me a photograph that she took following the day of her chin lip area. The bruising was clearly evident. Victim stated that Quinshon pulled over at one point. She exited the vehicle and called his mother. So she called Quinshon's mom. She did not tell her what had just transpired. And then she re-entered the car, but this time she got in the back seat. She stated that they continued arguing, and then she was still trying to explain the texts that he read were taken out of context. So she's trying to explain to him, hey, you're misunderstanding what you were reading or whatever it was. Then she said he turned around while he was driving and struck her additional times in the left arm and thigh. The victim had visible bruising on her left arm and thigh. She also displayed photographs again that were taken just after the incident that showed similar bruising. The victim stated that while Quinshon was striking her, in this instance, she began to kick her feet in the direction of him. As she said that he pulled into a Burger King parking lot, at which point she got out of the vehicle again. Said she then obviously got back in the car, told Quinshon, "Don't touch me again." And then he asked her, the police officer asked her, "Why did you not contact 911?" And then she said she felt bad due to the recent success and career of the defendant. She stated that she decided to contact police on today's date, which was that Saturday, after she spoke with family and friends and coming to the realization something needed to be done. Victim and defendant resided together as if a family between May 2024 and December 2024. She and Quinshon were not in a relationship between December and June, and that is when they rekindled their relationship. Victim stated she is currently and has previously been in an intimate and romantic dating relationship with Quinshon. She stated the defendant's multiple physical strikes to her were against her will, and she said that she desires prosecution. So he also puts in here, made contact with the defendant, who's Quinshon. He invoked his Miranda rights, was not asking any questions. He was placed under arrest for domestic battery as he actually and intentionally struck the defendant multiple times against her will. He was transported to the Fort Lauderdale Police Department jail for processing, later turned over to BSO Maine for booking.
Not good.
No, not good, not pleasant to read, not pleasant to listen to.
No. I mean, it's tough. It's a huge blow to his career. Both parties at hand are affected, hers as well. Not only is his career, I don't want to say in jeopardy, but I mean, I don't think it's completely out of line if the Browns walk away. You know what I mean? I don't know if they will, but I'm just saying this is, another serious allegation. Obviously last year we saw kind of a similar situation. Browns stood by Mike Hall, but it's not good. I mean, and it leaves the running back room in an even worse position as far as like once we go into the football aspect of it. We're now leaning on Jerome Ford and Sampson, or a rookie.
Yeah, And I've been saying this to people all weekend. I can't take another freaking season. I can't take another 6 weeks of watching Jerome Ford tiptoe behind the line of scrimmage, and then we're at 2nd and long every freaking drive. Like, I can't do it. I can't. This is why we drafted Judkins so high, was to fix the running game. We're going to recommit to the running game. It was going to be the focal point of the offense again. He's our physical battering ram, the guy that, and he's got the one cut, the speed. He's got everything we were looking for at that position. And I mean, I'm with you. The Browns could easily say, yeah, you don't even have a contract here. There's no point. Like, why now? I do doubt very much that happens, because
I agree. Yep.
He was a high 2nd round pick. He was part of that. I mean, just imagine the blowback. I mean, he was already getting it, but just imagine the blowback for Andrew Berry. He made this big trade, passed up on Travis Hunter, who everybody said was a generational prospect, right? For these picks, and he used one of those picks, one of the higher picks, on Quinshon Judkins, and he doesn't play a snap. He doesn't even make the team. Doesn't even get a contract here. I mean, it's not looking good, man. Like, that would, I see them, like you said, they stood by Mike Hall. I mean, he got arrested, he went to jail, and then the next day he was on the practice field.
Right. Yep.
So, I mean, I'm sure he'll get his contract. It just won't be what he wanted it to be. It's going to be what the Browns want it to be.
Exactly. Right. But I mean, it is, it's super unfortunate though. It's not a good look. It's the worst news you could have seen. You know, like, I would have been okay with not one headline the rest of the week, you know, about anything with Cleveland as far as the Browns, and just quiet. Hey, here comes camp. Let's talk on Friday about what's going on.
Let's get excited. Positive vibes, baby. No. We're doing this shit again.
Yep. And it's just, you know, it's like another long list of like this, you know, and it goes back years now. Like, we've seen issues. We had Malik McDowell had issues.
Hey, I've got a list.
Yeah, I was gonna say I can fire off about 4 or 5 of them.
Well, I've got it pulled up here because I wanted to go into this. This episode is sponsored by Manly Bands. Browns fans, if you're ready for a wedding band upgrade, get over to manlybands.com/dogs today and take advantage of their extended Prime Day sale. Up to 40% off on their site, limited time only. So I don't know how much longer this sale is going on, but go now, manlybands.com, and check out everything they have to offer, and use promo code CAMP25, CAMP25, when you check out for an extra $25 off your order. They've got the most badass wedding bands for men. Add to your collection. Why just have one? Get the dinosaur bone, get the meteorite, get the black zirconium, the carbon fiber, whatever you want. They've got chains, they've got gifts, they've got barware, they've got the woodsman hatchet, they've got wristwatch and shot glasses and earbuds, lighters and pocket knives, and anything that men need. Head to manlybands.com. Take advantage of their Prime Day sale that has been extended right now, up to 40% off. Limited time only. The clock is ticking on this sale. Head over to manlybands.com and use promo code CAMP25 when you check out for an extra $25 off your order. That's manlybands.com/dogs.
Since 1989, Mount Hope Fence has set the standard in outdoor living. From decks and railings to fences and patios, we've got you covered. Our lineup features top brands like TimberTech, Alumagard, Preferred Railing, and Unilock, along with our own premium Duralux vinyl products. For over 30 years, we've partnered with contractors ensuring reliable job site delivery. Discover quality and excellence in all things outdoors with Mount Hope Fence.
This will kind of kick off the part of the discussion where we are going to talk about Andrew Berry, because, of course, all over social media, the first thing people want to do is say Andrew Berry needs fired. We can talk about that. You know, and I think if Blake sent in his video, which I'm sure I've already played, I'm sorry, I guess I kind of got off track there with leaving a spot for him, but, you know, he was talking about, you know, can't blame Andrew Berry for this, and you can't. I mean, Quinshon punched the girl in the face.
Right.
That was 100% on him, his decision. He's accountable for that. I mean, I don't know how you can argue that. But at the same time, you can also say Andrew Berry does have a lengthy track record of bringing in questionable characters into the locker room. Both of those things can be true.
It's fair. Yeah.
So Obviously, the low-hanging fruit in this conversation, he traded for Deshaun Watson when he had 26 allegations of sexual misconduct hanging over him. Okay. Then, like you just brought up first, he signed Malik McDowell, who ended up assaulting a police officer and was found naked, I believe, right? Outside a school building or something like that?
Yeah.
And then he drafted Perion Winfrey, who had a domestic violence situation. He used a gun or something, right? Yeah. And then last year signed Jameis Winston, obviously years ago had, prior sexual assault allegations against him. And then he had the whole stealing crab legs thing back when he was young.
Right. Okay.
Drafted Mike Hall, we talked about last year, domestic violence. He also used a gun in that situation, and it was just a nasty situation. Re-signed Devin Bush this year, who then got arrested outside Pittsburgh for domestic violence. And now Quinshon Judkins arrested for domestic violence. And it's also worth mentioning, I think, that Andrew Berry last year brought in Kadarius Toney, who had a history of, issues and teams not really wanting him. And then he got Deontay Johnson in here now, who also has a history of issues and no other teams wanting him. People can even, if you want to, now this isn't Andrew Berry, but you could point to Kareem Hunt, who got cut by the Chiefs for domestic violence and then was signed by the Browns. Obviously, like I said, that was before Berry, but it does show like a long time tolerance of these kind of character concerns from an organizational level. Am I missing anybody from this list?
No, dude, that sounded pretty much with some that the list that I was going to read off.
Okay.
It's interesting though, because I guess my only pushback would be is like Judkins leading into this thing. Not a lot of red flags. I don't think any red flags, correct? I don't think that there was any off seasons or off field.
So there were no major red flags or anything like that was being reported. I did see some things getting shared around Twitter, some screenshots of emails or, text messages between, I don't know if it was a scout or if it was a coach from Ole Miss, saying that Ole Miss essentially said, whenever he either wanted more money or he was going to transfer, they showed him the door. They said, go. Jackson Dart, apparently, now I don't know if this was actually him saying it or somebody saying they had overheard it, but was not pleased with Judkins there. Some of the teammates at one point, they said the lineman would just kind of walk by him after he get tackled, didn't really want to help him up. Like he was just not the best teammate. I don't know if any of this is true. So I'm just speculating on what I've read, and I did see somebody made a good comment today or a good point. They said, some of these big college programs clearly there's a history of covering things up.
Sure.
So were there any red flags that were reported, major things about Quinshon that we should have been like, hey, maybe we shouldn't draft? No, there was nothing like that. Uh-huh. Doesn't mean they didn't exist. Doesn't mean they did, but it doesn't mean they didn't.
I mean, we're talking about Ohio State in back-to-back years now where 2 high second-round picks kind of, fallen into the same set of circumstances, and it didn't look like red flags for Hall as far as glaring red flags again.
But so again, I forget what it was, but there was something in the past that was like, once you started to dig a little bit, it's like, oh, okay, there was something prior.
Right. Right.
They had a dispute. Wasn't it like the year before him and his wife or girlfriend, fiance, whatever, they had something. And then it was like, okay. And that's the thing. These NFL, we're looking at this from fan perspective. Right. Andrew Berry and the Browns scouting department and the team, you guys have so many resources and connections. You can't tell me they don't hear about some of these other things that we don't hear about.
That could be fair. I mean, it's one of those things. I'm in the court of, I like Andrew Berry. I do. I just think that Andrew Berry's road is continuing to thin. There's not a lot of track left as far as
I'm with you.
As far as defending, don't get me wrong, we like how he drafts, and the draft is, it's a crapshoot. You'll hit on some, you'll miss on some. We know that. Free agents, some things will work out, some don't. But it is, I feel like when he misses, it's a glaring miss. And maybe is it us as fans? Are we making it intensified more than it needs to be? But it's definitely, there's something there.
There is. I just read the list of, when you're bringing in guys that have had a history of of character issues. You're signaling to everybody, fan base and the team, that you don't care about those things, or they're not as important as what the player could offer you on the field. I mean, you can argue whether that's fair or not fair, whatever. Sure. Everybody has their own opinion on it, but it has not worked out for the Browns. Like, what these players could offer you on the field has not worked out for the Browns at all. Not one of them. I mean, maybe Kareem Hunt a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm saying, I don't think the book's closed on Hall or Judkins. You know what I mean? But as far as like the other ones, it hasn't ended well. You know what I mean? Like, and like for Jameis, it's like, okay, well, we got him at the tail end of a big back QB back. You know, he's a backup QB. That's what he is, you know? So that one, not as, you know, I guess.
He was more years removed from his stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
right.
Yeah. But I mean, it's valid.
But it was there.
Know, we used to, you know, give Cincinnati fans a lot of crap about kind of this kind of stuff, and
Steelers and Ravens.
Yeah. It's becoming a little bit more of an us thing anymore.
I mean, if you take a step back, you look at the league as a whole, it's a league-wide problem.
Yeah, it happens.
This stuff is a league-wide problem. You can go down any roster in the league and you're going to find guys who've been arrested. You're going to find guys with domestic violence and sexual, you know, misconduct things. And you're going to find every team's got stuff. And it just is what it is. But yeah, coming back then honing in on the Browns, I'm tired of talking about it with my freaking team.
Yeah. Well, and it's disappointing. We already have enough things that we don't want to talk about. You know, we're tired of talking about how we don't have a quarterback, or we're trying to figure out what the quarterback is. There's so many things already this offseason. It's just like, oh man, it's a circus. And it just continues to kind of snowball. So I'm actually excited for camp to start because I'm ready to talk about football. I want to get away from all the off-field stuff. I want to get away from all the discussions and the what ifs and stuff like that. Let them play. I mean, unfortunately, at this point, Judkins he's staring down 6 games, and probably there's a serious chance, like, if Sampson goes out there and balls out, I mean, he's not a slouch.
No,
he's not you know what I mean? He's not a scrub. It's not like this guy can't play at all. He was very dominant at Tennessee. He could be, you know, something really nice. I don't know if he's that kind of guy at the NFL level where he can be a 3-down back, but, you know, I know that the idea of just giving Jerome Ford the keys to an RB1 position for 6 weeks. I'm changing my win-loss totals predictions already. Like, no offense or anything, but I'm yeah. So we're going into another year where we have no run game again. Okay. All right. Well, good thing that was what we were going to lean on, you know, moving into this year. Just sucks. The whole thing sucks.
It does, man.
It's frustrating.
And it was the position I was the most excited for going into the season because it was new. It was revitalized. They got new, like, young, talented, very talented players in there. Yeah. No,
it's such a shame too, because he was the guy that we were excited about.
Yeah.
He was the guy that was leading hey, this guy could turn around this room. Sampson was just a nice piece, you know, like it was just, and now we're talking about Jerome Ford. And, you know, our former RB1 is down in Texas, you know, just walks. We let him walk because we didn't need him.
The drafting of Judkins and Sampson made it less pressing to get Nick Chubb back here. Right. Because we said it all the time, like, what's his role? What's the point of bringing him back?
Let him
go. Let him play. Well, that's what he wants to do, is go somewhere and play.
Right. It's like poetic justice. You know what I mean? Like, it really, it's like, you know, like, hey, how can we stick it to the Browns fans? How about we suspend their brightest, you know, offensive weapon moving forward into this year? We were thinking, okay,
I mean, I get that, the poetic justice and everything, but I mean, if you just look at any other NFL team that you're not a fan of, so step away from fandom for a minute and say, okay, the Raiders or somebody. The Broncos have an aging 30-year-old running back who just missed the last 2 season-ending injuries and everything. Yep. He looked really inefficient last year, and they went in and had a chance to draft 2 young running backs and revitalize their running back room. I wouldn't think twice about it because I'm not a fan of that team. I'm not emotionally attached to that running back.
Correct.
It makes sense. Like that's just a football business move.
Yep. Happens every day.
If you separate the fandom from it, like the Nick Chubb thing, it sucks.
Yep.
But it's just it was the right move for the team.
Absolutely. I agree.
And for the future, but come on, Quinshon. Like you were supposed to be part of that freaking future, dude. I mean, and I know he still can be, but this is you got an uphill battle.
Major. You got to win back your coaches. You've got to win back your teammates.
Yep.
I mean,
the fans, because I mean, as soon as this kind of shit happens, the fans are like, especially at this position.
We like are sitting here, and I'm like, I talk to people like, hey, who if you were going to get a jersey right now, who'd you get? I'd get Quinshon Judkins up until Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Now it's if you buy that jersey, oh hey, you okay with punching chicks in the face? Like, no, I really like Ohio State, players, and I bought this 2 weeks ago, but it is what it is. It's just it sucks. It's just a bad look just overall.
Well, it's a bad look for the Browns, bad look for the NFL, and it's a bad look for Ohio State. I mean, because now, like you said, it is Mike Hall, 2nd round pick last year. It is Quinshon Judkins, 2nd round pick this year. Is there a deeper issue tracing back to Columbus that maybe needs to be looked at? I mean, I've seen that going around social media as well, and people questioning, and I think I'm not saying that anything's going on or, they're covering things up or whatever, but it's a fair question. Mm-hmm. Right?
I'm sure there are things that happen at any big school that are probably going to get swept under the rug a little bit.
Michigan, Penn State, look at these programs. I mean, they've all got their dirty, secrets and skeletons.
Sure. I just, at some point, it escalated because we're talking about, a football player punching somebody in the face and not, we're talking about a woman punching a woman in the face, so regardless of what was swept under the rug or not, if that police report is what it is, yikes,
Yeah. And, I've been thinking, obviously I've been writing about this, posting about it, talking about it all weekend. And I just keep thinking about this situation. And, Quinshon Judkins is 21 years old. So he's an adult. He's an adult young man, but he's also a young man. He's still kind of a kid. Right. I mean, I was not very mature at 21. I mean, I don't know about you, Justin, but
I was making poor decisions, bro.
Making poor decisions. Now, I wasn't punching girls in the face.
Sure.
But yes, I did still have growing up to do. And I feel so bad for these young guys who, they work their whole life. They bust their tail through college to get this opportunity to play at the NFL, to make these millions of dollars. And you're sitting there at 21 years old and you're still not fully developed in your brain and your emotions and everything. And he obviously has some anger issues because he let text messages get the better of him. And instead of sitting down like a mature adult with his girlfriend and asking her what's going on, like, let's talk about this, explain this to me, let's have a rational conversation, he got pissed. And when she tried to talk, he was obviously scaring her and he started punching her. Like, that's not the right way to handle this situation. And it just sucks because now he's got to live with that for a long time. I mean, God willing, but it's just, you got the rest of your life ahead of you, dude.
We've talked about, it brings up a fair point because we've talked about that too. Like, we've all made mistakes. We also made these mistakes. We didn't have millions of dollars and pretty much unlimited opportunities, you know what I mean? For the most part, so who knows? Maybe in that situation, I do terrible, dumb decisions, but I mean, it sucks. It sucks. I don't think his career is over. I don't think, anything like, if anything, he gets the help he needs, moves forward with a career, and go from there. But I mean, it's definitely going to be one of those things like where Browns fans are like, dang. It's not great. It's just not a good look.
No, nope, it's not. So you guys, let us know in the comments. your thoughts on this whole situation. Was there anything about this arrest and all this stuff with Quinshon that we were going to talk about that we didn't? Was there anything else?
I think the good majority of it, I think you hit, bro, because I was thinking former suspended players damaged their running back room completely. And yeah, another guy got arrested. I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, this is going to be a game or two suspension. I think he's automatic done, bro. I think it's a wrap, 6 games.
Yeah, so that's what I want to do here is bring up the schedule real quick because I still don't have it exactly memorized by heart. So that means week 1 against the Bengals, a game that I was saying, hey, watch out, the Browns could start this thing off 1-0. Well, that sucks because that was going to be a big part of that was being able to run the freaking ball. So Bengals, Ravens, Packers, Lions, Vikings, and London. We come back to play the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So that's our first 6. And he won't be here for those. The soonest he could be back, week 7 at home against the Dolphins. And then it's week 8 after that against the Patriots in New England. And then it's the bye. So I don't know what the NFL uses as, because their suspensions don't make a whole lot of sense a lot of times. Because, I always go back to the Alvin Kamara, damn near killed a guy on video and got 3 games suspension? Rashee Rice, with his felony drag racing or whatever the hell happened down there in Texas last year. No suspension. Still nothing. Still nothing. And Mike Hall last year then goes on the commissioner's exempt list and misses the first, was it 5 or 6 games?
I believe
5 games.
Okay.
I think. So I don't know. This could be a 6-gamer. They could push this all the way through the bye week.
Based on that from last year, like with Mike Hall, if Mike Hall gets 5 games, I would consider Mike Hall's more serious from last year. But it was bad. It was definitely bad. It falls under the same context, honestly. Like it is what it is at the end of the day. Like,
yeah. Deshaun Watson got 11 games. Justin Tucker got what, 9?
10?
10?
Yeah.
There's no consistency. Oh, that's right. Yeah. He gets like the 1 game bump or whatever. So yeah, there's no consistency with the NFL. That's the one thing that I hate about it. If the player does something stupid, suspend him, punish him for sure.
Yeah. It sucks.
But be consistent with it. Have an actual plan. I don't know. Goodell's an idiot.
That's fair. It's fair, bro.
All right. Well, golly, I hate talking about this kind of stuff. 2 freaking summers in a row.
It sucks.
We'll move into this in-motion football evaluation of the Browns. And what's interesting about this, so this is a thing that they put together from a company called In Motion Football. Damon Wolf, who is I don't know if he's the founder or if he runs the whole thing. I'm going to get more information on him because I'm actually going to interview him on the podcast later this week. So I'll get more details about this. Me and Justin just want to talk about it, present it to you guys because it came out last week and we didn't get a chance to talk about it. But let me pull it up over here real quick. So they put out these graphics for the Browns for every team, actually. And so the Browns scored a 63.8 on their franchise valuation score. So they got this FV, franchise valuation triangle. It's comprised of QB scheme, player experience, development analytics, scouting leadership, all this kind of stuff. So they take into consideration the coaching staff, the front office, the roster, all that kind of stuff. It says the FV triangle is a 12-layer evaluation framework that powers the franchise valuation score, a predictive health rating for every NFL team. It is a modern football framework designed to measure the true structural health and 3-year outlook of teams by blending analytics, scouting reports, or scouting principles, and front office strategy. So, like I said, the Browns 63.8. It put them in the mid tier because they are ranked 17th out of 32. So for anybody out there that is following along, you probably thought the Browns were going to come in somewhere around 32 or 30 or 31, maybe late 20s, but they came in at 17. So I'll just read through this and then we'll talk about it. So the strengths, according to this, the defensive line, I would say maybe. Myles Garrett for sure. The rest of it we're hoping. So I don't know if I would put and I'll talk to him about this, how they came up with it when I have him on, but defensive line, putting that as a strength might be a little bit of a stretch at this point. What do you think about that?
You have arguably the best defensive player in the league And then you have a lot of nice young pieces around him. And I think bringing Collins in, that's going to be nice for us too. But
yeah, I like Malik Collins.
I mean, if you went off of previous years, you could say, sure, it could be a strength. It's kind of a bold statement, I guess, you know. I would say entire defense could be the strength. I don't know.
I would give that, yes.
Yeah. But maybe not just particularly defensive line.
Yeah. And it very well could be. I'm just saying we're hoping that Mason Graham and, you know, Joe Tryon-Shoyinka and McGuire and Alex Wright, these guys actually pan out.
Right.
We'll see. The next strength, 2025 draft class. Well, I'll ask him if that's still the case after this Quinshon Judkins thing.
Sure, it could absolutely still be. Absolutely, but
it could still be. But if you think about it, so whatever ends up happening with Judkins, and then, I mean, you've got 2 quarterbacks in this draft class. You use 2 picks on 2 quarterbacks, and if one of them pans out to be the guy, that's huge for the team. But it means the other pick was nothing.
Right. Yep.
And if neither of them pan out,
2 misses.
2 misses.
Yep.
Okay, another strength. Fans might argue this one too. Analytics usage.
Whatever. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
I think Justin just spoke for everybody.
Yeah, man. No, I mean, yeah, okay. You should make sure you ask him about that too.
Yes. Can you please explain analytics usage being a strength for the Cleveland Browns?
Thank you.
Oh, man. Yeah. I mean, when it leads you to things like Anthony Schwartz and stuff like that, you got to wonder if it
is it really working?
What are they
Is
doing?
it really a strength?
All right. The next strength, future draft capital. That's probably driven by the fact that they got the Jaguars' first round pick next year, would be my guess.
We can't really argue that one. I feel like that's fair. That's a very fair one. That's very good.
And then the last strength listed here is play callers. I mean, just again, it depends on who you ask.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, you know it's going to happen as soon. Every game, there's going to be plays where people go, oh, Kevin Stefanski can't call plays. Why is this guy idiot calling plays?
Tommy calling that? Oh, no. I saw play callers and I was just like, oh, that's also.
So
I think he's come a long way. We'll call it that.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to really see much of it last year because it wasn't his
form,
offense.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So all the strengths as we went through them were obviously like, not sure. Weaknesses. Let's talk about these. These might be a little more definitive. Aging offensive line.
Sure.
Check.
Yeah.
How about this one? How the hell is this not number 1? QB uncertainty.
Also checking the box on that for potentially 4 times. We're not sure.
It's like the most uncertain QB situation in the league. Yes.
Ever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And we've had one every year, it seems like.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Future dead money on the cap. Yeah.
This dude's nailing it. Tell him this is where he is shining.
Like, you guys got these weaknesses so good. You nailed them. Yeah. NFLPA grades.
Yeah.
Yeah. We struck out on pretty much all of those.
New stadium, new locker room, all that stuff should help. But yeah, the grades are pretty bad.
Yeah, when the linemen are bitching about the fact that the coaches get like a player meetup area in the stadium after the games, but the players have to go across the street to a tent in the parking lot.
Yeah. Do you remember when they didn't have a gym for a little bit? And they were like, we're going to give this an F because we don't have a gym. A workout room. Sorry.
Yeah. Brutal, man. And then the last weakness, which I'm going to ask him if there was like a list of 20 and they had to cut it down to 5 because there's more. But the last one on this list is wide receiver depth.
Sure. Another very good one. Yep.
So I agree.
I wouldn't argue with any of those.
No, strong agree with all of those.
Strong agree. Yep.
Shoulder shrug on the strengths. We'll see. This episode is sponsored by Butcher Box for Pets. Browns fans, we love our fellow dogs, our Dog Pack members, and the Dog Pound faithful, but let's not kid ourselves. The most important dogs in our lives are, well, our dogs. Your furry friends aren't just pets, they're part of the family. But the question is, what are you actually feeding them? Head to butcherbox4pets.com/products to see all the options for your dogs, including fresh and dry foods, treats, meal toppers, and even toys for your dog. If you're not sure what your dog will like best, try the Premium Nutrition Adult Starter Pack pack, and they even have a vacation bundle to take care of your four-legged friends while you're on vacation this summer. And right now you can get 20% off your order with promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, when you check out. At ButcherBox, they believe in real ingredients. Their pet foods have been developed and certified by vet nutritionists to contain zero artificial flavors or preservatives. You get protein-packed formula with over 50% of the recipe comprised of third-party certified humane ButcherBox meat, plus functional ingredients like pre- and postbiotics to support your dog's vitality and digestion. I know that sounds like a lot, but the bottom line is your dogs are getting the nutrition and the value they need and honestly that they deserve. I know our home wouldn't be the same without Odie, our 100-pound golden retriever who thinks he's a 10-pound lap dog. He is not, but it gives us peace of mind knowing that we're giving him quality food instead of just that factory processed garbage from the store. And speaking of the store, no need to go. ButcherBox for Pets delivers their high-quality food right to your door. So head to butcherboxforpets.com/products and use promo code DAWGS, DAWGS, for 20% off your order. It's time for us dogs to give our dogs the nutrition they deserve. So the breakdown here says the Browns have a stronger foundation than most would assume. They may have been the only front office in the league able to weather the storm caused by the Deshaun Watson trade. That I agree with.
I agree with, yeah.
Because we've talked about that. While there's definitely things about this team that we'll poke fun at and criticize, I will say that the fact that they swung on this, and don't even think about the draft capital, just the contract, and yet this front office has still been able to retain every single player, and I've got a list somewhere. I'm not going to go find it now. Every single player they've wanted to extend, they've done it.
Done.
Including Myles Garrett to the largest non-quarterback contract in NFL history.
Okay, nailed it. Yep.
Cleveland had the strongest draft in the NFL by our measures. Okay. And they are positioned well for the 2026 draft. Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
We expect Shedeur Sanders to become the starter soon. Interesting. I'm going to ask him about that and say, why?
Elaborate and then be like, and by soon, how soon are we talking?
Right. Yep. And he says, we expect Sanders to become the starter soon, and we project him to perform well enough in the Browns offense to question taking a quarterback early in next year's draft.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're up against.
They've got high expectations for Shedeur Sanders, which a lot of Browns fans do. And if there's still Shedeur Sanders fans watching this show, you guys obviously do. We do. I think that I want to see if he can be the guy, but I'm going to talk to Damon and see kind of what went behind this.
Yep. I'll just give a general kind of like when I looked at it, I was surprised, man, because maybe it's just me and my negativity anymore, but I felt like, oof, I don't know. This feels about as low as it can get right now. And then, this ray of sunshine came through my phone and it's talking about how in 3 years we could win a division title. And I'm like, is this the same team that we're talking about here? But, I mean, that's my thing. And then I thought the Shedeur Sanders thing was interesting because I would think if there's going to be a guy, it's got to be either one of the two rookies. And, we're talking about a guy who everybody thought was a first round talent. Granted, he slipped way down, but we've all talked about it. It's not like he's a real fifth round talent.
Correct.
He's second round talent, potentially late first round talent with a little bit of baggage, depending on what all went down during that draft process. But I mean, there's a lot of things here that I feel like have to line up right, and it's kind of like something we always talk about. We're like, all these things have to fall in perfectly to place. And then, this can happen. This is kind of one of those things,
right.
What's your thoughts on it? Were you as surprised as I was?
For sure. Absolutely. Especially when you look at the 3-year projection from this valuation. It's got, so they go back in 2024, 3 wins. Yeah, we sucked last year. So they project this year, 2025, 7 wins. So we'll be 7-10. Next year in 2026, they project us for 10 wins. So 10-7. Or whenever we change to the 18-game season, maybe we'll be 10. I don't know when that's coming. And then the year after that, in 2027, they have the Cleveland Browns projected for 12 wins and a division title. Not just a playoff appearance, but a division title.
Huh. Oh, that's crazy. I didn't know Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson were getting traded out of the AFC North. That's so insane. Just kidding. I'm just feeling pretty negative about it. I mean, okay.
This is probably the wrong episode to do this valuation on. We just went through.
You poured negative on me for a half hour, and then I'm supposed to be optimistic. Yeah, this sounds good, man. 3 years division title. Yeah, book it. Let's call it a day. No, as a fan, would I love all of this? Absolutely. These are all the wish list things. You know what I mean? These are all the things we want to work out. I do think that when you interview him, it'd give a lot more, I guess, depth in what he thinks is going to transpire the next few years with the Browns.
For sure, because we're looking at this, obviously, again, it's really hard to take off the fan cap, the see it through the lens that we see it through. We're so close to this team all the time, day in and day out. And it's sometimes it's just easy to get sucked into the negativity, and then you see something like this from an outside, party, and this is what they come away with in their evaluation. It's like, okay, what am I missing that they're seeing? And that's what I'm going to talk to Damon about later this week.
Very cool. I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one as well. I think it'll be pretty neat. All right, so let's kick over to a couple listener mailbag questions here to wrap up the show tonight. This is from Kane on the website. He says, do you guys think there will ever be a superstar from the International Player Pathway Program at a skill position? I know Jordan Mailata, the tackle for the Eagles, is a stud, and I can potentially see some more kickers, punters making an impact, but the likelihood of a star wide receiver or running back coming from that program.
I'd be surprised, and not to just tarnish the program or anything. If we're talking about elite talent, like we're not talking about you run really, really fast or you catch really well. There's so many aspects of the game that you've mastered over the years, right? You've mastered every aspect of your game and your positional game. So it's one of those things where, especially at a younger age, don't get me wrong, you hear about guys starting to play football, when they're in high school or, they get lucky and they just walk on at a college. Mm-hmm. To be an elite, generational, like a one-of-one type guy at a position, I'd be surprised, especially at like an offensive position.
Yeah, like a skill position like this, I will definitely agree with you and say the likelihood is slim. But
sure,
if you had asked us a couple years ago, hey guys, what do you think the likelihood is that Mr. Irrelevant will become a star quarterback in the NFL? We would have said not
no
likely.
Way. Right.
Very, very unlikely that the last pick in the draft. But hey, now we have Brock Purdy in the league, and he just got a $55 million a year contract. Like, yeah, okay, the dude has arrived. So I'm not going to say it can never happen, but it would take a very special scenario for that to happen.
And for it to go down like that, they would have to be unnoticed by, we're talking even like scouts. Like scouts are, you would think that they'd be tapped into, international sports, whether they'd have to be in some type of international sport, whether it be rugby or soccer or, and at that point internationally, if you're that big, those countries like soccer and, like rugby and stuff like that over in Europe kind of trumps football. It does. Yeah. I'm not going to say kind of. Soccer is a international game. It's a global game. There's situations where there's more money in soccer, but they would be noticed before, and it'd be hard to drag them to football out of especially with how young the soccer, apprenticeship programs and stuff like that are.
I think, if these are the two positions we're talking about, because he didn't, obviously didn't include quarterback or anything in here, but I think, what do you think? I feel like it would probably be, if one of them was going to hit that mark, it would be running back for me, because there's less, what do I want to say? Like you see college running backs transition straight into the NFL and boom, like they can hit it right off. And wide receivers, it tends to take them a little time to adjust. But we're talking about skill positions that have been playing the game most likely for years, developing those skills and the nuances and everything it takes to run a route and all this stuff. It's just, it would have to be a very special player.
I would say if it was going to be something like that, right? And we're going to, like, if you said running back, rugby makes sense.
Right.
Another one would be like linebacker, rugby makes sense. Like that makes sense all day. I could see it transitioning. Like, don't get me wrong, different game, different rules, but I could see athletically, you know what I mean? If you can run and knock a guy down, you could do that on a football field. But the talent level is way different in the NFL or even college. We're talking about, I mean, even to get to college would be slim chances. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I mean, thousands of, kids go from high school to college and just like 100, if you're looking to like relatively go to the NFL. I mean, it just funnels down so quick and so narrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be surprised.
It's the best of the best, but all right. So this one's from Andrew Jackson, our boy on Discord in the Dog Pack. He says, who are you guys' personal all-time GOATs in different sports from when you were kids? When you were kids, he says. So maybe it's different now, but
man, when I was a kid, we just talked about this, but 95 Indians. You know what I mean? Albert Bell, Omar, Jim Thome, Manny. For basketball, I love Sean Kemp because he was on the Cavs. I was like, I think 6 or 7 years old. It was the first, like my first thing I went to was a Cavs game. So I remember Sean Kemp, just remember him being super tall. And then, as far as football, when I really, really started getting into Cleveland sports, we didn't have a football team. And I had a buddy that was a huge Jacksonville Jaguar fan. And so right before the Browns came back, I was a pretty big Mark Brunell fan. I was on board with the Jaguars until the Browns came back. And then, I kind of just clung to guys every 2 years until, till 2025. But I mean, obviously, like as far as for kids stuff, 95 Indians would have been 95 to 97. Those were the GOATs. And I was always like in that it's us or it's Cleveland or nothing. You know what I mean? I've never felt like I could admit fandom for another team that wasn't Cleveland.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't like a fan of other teams, but man, like my all-time favorite athlete when I was a kid, and I mean, I still admire the guy a ton, was Ken Griffey Jr. I just loved the kid. And I mean, I love that guy. Like Ken Griffey was all-time GOAT. Basketball, I really liked Vince Carter when I was a kid.
Oh yeah, bro.
I mean, he was fun.
Oof.
And in football, I loved Eddie George.
Oh yeah.
Loved Eddie George. And then as I watched more and more football, when I got a little older, I mean, like Donovan McNabb, I just loved watching him play for the Eagles. I mean, just players like that. It's just, I remember for sure.
There's been guys now, like I'm a little older, but like guys that like I watched their game and was like, poof, like Calvin Johnson. Watching Calvin Johnson, I remember being like, this dude's special. We've talked about like the ones that we watch and like we tune in for. Like we recently talked about like rookie first year, second year OBJ. That was tune in type stuff. Like those were guys like that I would turn the TV on, could care less about the Giants. All I wanted to do was see OBJ ball out and do something. What about like,
I mean, really his whole career was fantastic, but like prime and young Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh God, he's a freak.
Yeah, man.
I heard something nuts that he had, like his drops over his career is something outrageous. Like low, I don't want to mess the number up, but I wanted to say it was like something outrageous, like 19. I that feels like it's outrageously low, but I remember hearing it and thinking like, there's no way that is real.
So based on the AI overview on Google, real quick, that I searched, his career is notable. Exceptionally low number of dropped passes in his entire career. It says he had more career tackles than he had dropped passes. He had 41 career tackles, 29 dropped passes over 17 seasons.
That's insane. I knew it was so I said 19, 29 that's insane.
Well, think about it, because Jerry Jeudy had 10 last year. Just to put it in perspective, like, and Jerry Jeudy had a fantastic season, but he had 10 dropped passes. Larry Fitzgerald had 29 over 17 years.
And like heavily focused on it. It wasn't like he was getting 2 or 3 targets a game. The dude was a target monster. It's insane. Good for him.
It is.
Great career.
Absolutely crazy. So comments, you guys let us know who were your GOAT athletes when you guys were kids. And then here's the last one from Joe Merica on our Discord. wants to know, are we excited to play any video games that have recently been released or are about to be released? He suggested College Football 26, Battlefield 6. Justin, I will let you take this one since you're the video guru, especially since Blake isn't on here.
Yeah, I haven't turned my Xbox or my PlayStation on in about a year, guys.
Oh, really? I see. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I have 2 kids and a wife. I've actually hit that point in my life where I just don't have time. Well, it's crazy. I would like to, but honestly, there's nothing. I'm not a NCAA football guy or a Madden guy. I like Silent Hill and Resident Evil type stuff, so I got a ways to wait on stuff like that. But yeah, I haven't turned it on. Just taking up space. It's a good place for a desk. That's about it.
Interesting. Yeah. So I do like playing college football. I played a lot of that last year. I always like playing Madden, even when the game sucks. I'm excited for this year's game. The problem is, kind of like you alluded to a second ago, kids. I haven't turned my PlayStation on in, let's see, how old's Ledger? Almost 6 months now.
There you go.
So since before he was born, and there's no way I can do it. There's no time in the day between work and kids and house stuff. It's just impossible.
That's where I'm at. There's just not enough time in the day. It'll be 10 o'clock and I'm exhausted and I'm like, we still have to put the kids to bed. Or this
dude, that's
sucks.
The worst.
And I could stay up till I could literally put the kids to bed at 11 because they probably won't go to bed, the first 30 times you put them in there. But then, I could watch a movie or a show or turn on the PlayStation. But in my head, I'm thinking, I got to get up in like 4 or 5 hours and be miserable at work tomorrow. Why would I want to be even more miserable?
Yep.
That's what it is.
We don't even watch like TV shows right now because, I mean, first of all, getting the baby to bed without the 4-year-old waking him up is like a chore. And then getting the 4-year-old to go to sleep, like, dude, because I usually put him to bed. Laying there, I'm like, just go to sleep. Like, quit. He'll do anything possible to delay it.
Yeah, you're in a tough spot, man. You've got a 4-year-old that you're probably having to give snacks and read stories to and a million times over. And then on top of that, you have a 6-month-old baby, which is, that's a wild card. You don't know if you're going to sleep. You're not going to sleep. You never know.
No, you don't. I
don't miss that at all.
No, I mean, and there has not been a night. I keep telling my wife, can we just get one night where they sync up and they both sleep through the night? No,
not a chance.
Because the baby, he'll sleep like a 10-hour night. Awesome. The 4-year-old had me up twice. I was up from, midnight to 2 and then again at 4:30 or vice versa. He'd sleep until 8 in the morning and the baby was up 3 times. I'm like, geez, criminy, man.
Well, something to, not to get too excited on the road, but pretty soon you'll just wake up and they'll just be laying across the foot of your bed and you'll have neck and back problems even more. You end up sleeping on the couch at 2:30 every night. Yeah, good things to look forward to there, brother.
Yeah. Yep. Fun stuff. So, Joe, thanks for the question. Absolutely. We quickly turned video game conversation into kids,
ask Blake that. Ask Blake that. I don't know.
Yeah, so in the comments, let us know about video games. But if you want our reaction or you want comments back from us, talk about your kids because that's where we're at right now. So,
no joke.
All right. Well, that was ended on a fun note, started on a real shitty note because of just all the crap that's going on. But stay plugged in. Follow us on all the socials. At the Dawgs Podcast is the handle everywhere. I'm trying to keep everybody up to date on everything that's going on with Judkins and just anything. We got training camp starting next week. Rookies report on Friday. I mean, things are going to ramp up like crazy here. I mean, we have preseason football this month.
Thank goodness.
This month. Hall of Fame game is at the end of this month.
I can't wait. Can't wait.
It's about to get wild. So, yep. Let us know what you guys think. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, go to jointhedawgs.com if you want to play fantasy football. Just like I said about the summer's going quick and we're going to be in preseason. We're going to be drafting our fantasy football teams before you know it. So get in now, reserve your spot in the league, and just be ready to go. It's $5 a month. It's a cup of coffee you're donating to us. You won't miss it, but we appreciate it more than we can let you know. So thank you to everybody who's already in the dog pack. And thanks again to everybody tuning in. So for Justin, for me, we'll see you guys in the next one. For Blake, if we got his video in here, I hope we did. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Let's go, Browns.
Woof, woof. Hashtag DP.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dawgs Podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Twitter at the Dawgs Podcast. Get your thoughts on the show at thedawgspodcast.com.
This episode is sponsored by Southern New Hampshire University. Browns fans, I can't tell you guys how many people I've known over the years who have missed out on job opportunities simply because they don't have the right degree or even have a degree at all. I mean, these are people who otherwise would have been perfect for the position they wanted, but they got turned away simply because of educational requirements. If you've ever felt stuck in a job you didn't enjoy, or you felt unqualified or unable to advance your career due to your lack of education or experience, heck, maybe you even have a degree, but now you feel like you chose the wrong major, Southern New Hampshire University could be the answer for you. Go to snhu.edu/bark, B-A-R-K, to learn how you can get started today. SNHU has programs in psychology, cybersecurity, computer science, sports management, game development, data analytics, and finance. SNHU is one of the largest online accredited universities in the United States, and their programs are radically affordable. Their online tuition rates are some of the lowest in the nation. And you might even be eligible for financial aid or have prior college credits that could fast track your degree at SNHU. And because networking is everything, your courses are taught by faculty with real world experience, so you'll have opportunities to connect with people inside the industry. And then when you graduate, SNHU will still be there to help you as you begin your job search. So if you're ready for something new, head over to snhu.edu/bark and learn how you can get started working toward your new career today.